What's up, guys? It's Pluto again, and welcome to the Kingdom Wealth Channel. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna really take my time with this one today. Okay? I'm gonna take my time on this one. So if I were you, I would go find a pen or a pencil, a notebook or a piece of paper, because you're gonna need it, because today is jam-packed full. I'm gonna tell you that right now off the cuff. It's jam-packed full. And to be real, I ain't about to waste no time. So let's dive in. So, guys, we are in the middle of a transition. And actually, we're in the middle of a global transition. And it's a global monetary transition. In the way that we pay for things, in the way that we transact, okay, is actually getting ready to change forever. Did you hear what I said? I said it's getting ready to change forever. All right? We got inflation happening all over the place, banks collapsing, people demanding wage increases, layoffs, and here soon we're going to start seeing large corporations fall. Here soon we're going to start seeing those corporations fall that we ain't never thought that they would fall. We ain't never thought that they would go belly up, but they get ready to fall. But all of these things that are happening actually mean something. Listen, all of these things mean that our global system is breaking down and coming to its final end. Okay? This is what that means. And basically, guys, we are in the middle of experiencing what's called a global reset. See, I have the book right here. Reset. We're experiencing a global reset. That book here actually talks about the things happening or getting ready to happen. Okay, it talks about the systematic breakdowns in the economy, the layoffs, all of these things. It talks about those things. So in a sense, it kind of primed, it kind of opened my eyes to see what was to come. And as we see these things happening, they're all happening for a reason, because as one system breaks down, another one rises up. Did you hear what I just said? I said, as one system breaks down, another one rises up. Okay? So, in my previous video that was titled if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. But it's called The Digital Economy Incoming. Okay, and in that video, I spoke about us going back to what's called the gold standard. Okay, so we're getting ready to go back to the gold standard. Okay? Well, the gold standard is also a part of what this thing called a reset. Okay? So let me explain something to you though. So the higher that inflation goes, the more likely the currency, aka our US dollars, is to reset. Let me say that one more time. The higher that inflation goes, the more likely the currency, aka our US dollars, is to reset. Okay? Let me break something down to y'all real quick. Because what I'm about to say, you really need to listen to this. This is like, what I'm about to say is like a double sword. It's like a double sword in regards to our economy and the health of our currency. Okay? So I'm going to say two things. Number one, so we have inflation. When central banks print more money, there's typically more money or dollars in circulating supply. Okay, keep that as number one. Okay, so that means that there are more dollars out in the world. Okay, there are more dollars out in the world, which create higher prices of goods and services such as bread, milk, energy, gas, etc. Okay, that's number one. So number two, also in my last video titled Digital Economy Incoming, I explained and said that there were countries who were moving away, or they're breaking away from the US dollar. Okay? So these countries, they're basically moving away from the US dollar. And I'm sure you're like, well, Pluto, why? I got you. Just hold on. Also, remember I said in that video that the US dollar is the global reserve currency, which literally means, guys, the US dollar is the superpower amongst them all. So that means that if the US dollar is the leader and the superpower amongst them all, then that means that all these other countries' currencies follow behind the US dollar. Like follow the leader. Literally like follow the leader behind the US dollar. That's what this is. Okay? So I'm going to say this. So these other countries were once known as the BRICS nations. And I'm sure you're wondering, Pluto, what are the BRICS nations? What is that? Well, I'm about to tell you. So the BRICS nations are Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So I'm gonna say that again. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay? These nations now, this news just came out. You can go look this news up right now if you need to. Go look it up right now. These nations have enacted to no longer trade in US dollars and are set to issue their own digital currency together that is backed by gold. Guys, I'm going to be real with y'all. Look, this is a big deal. This is a big deal, and it has a lot to do. It has a lot to do with us too. It has a lot to do with our family. It has a lot to do with our well-being. It has a lot to do with our society as a whole. This is a big deal. But people don't really pay attention to this stuff because if people don't know, then how can they be informed? So, but I'm going to keep on going. So I'm sure you're wondering, well, Pluto, what does that mean that these countries are no longer going to trade in US dollars? What does that have to do with us? What does that have to do with the United States? Listen now. With the BRICS nations leaving out of the United States, all these now worthless dollars are sent back home to the United States. Okay? All these dollars that all of these countries had on their balance sheet are now sent back to the United States. Okay? They're sent back to the United States. This is a big deal. And these countries held dollars. These countries held dollars because since the dollar was the global superpower, these countries held on to dollars in order to trade in dollars. Okay, so they were trading in dollars because the United States dollar was the global, or is the global, right now it is, still the global superpower. But they traded in United States dollars. Okay? So, what's happening now? What's happening now? Okay? So, these countries are getting rid of dollars because they are worthless money in their economy. Because the dollar is now declining in value. Now the dollar is declining in value. So now this is a big issue. This is a very big deal now. This is a really big deal now, okay? So they're sending the dollars back home. Well, what does that mean, Pluto? Doesn't that mean we have more dollars, more money to spend? Doesn't that mean that we have more money to give to everybody? Doesn't that mean you have more money that your job gonna give you a whole lot more money because they sending these dollars back home? No. That ain't what that means. I mean, well, yeah, you'll have a lot more dollars, but remember what I said earlier. With more dollars in circulating supply, more dollars that are out here in the world in circulating supply, okay, makes the price of goods and services much higher. You follow me? It makes the price of goods and services much higher. Okay? So with this can create a hyperinflationary situation if the United States doesn't handle things accordingly, which our people in power are going to have to do something fast and handle this thing accordingly, or else it could get out of hand. This is a real thing. Both of these two books here, let's see. If you, my camera always is so blurry sometimes. But anyway, the Great Reset and the New Great Depression, it talks about, literally talks about hyperinflation in both of these books. Okay, and how it happened at the time back then. Okay. So that means that more dollars in circulating supply, higher prices of goods and services. So I'm going to say this right here, in which we've never seen a hyperinflationary event a day in our lifetime. Like, that's not something that we've ever seen before. You know what I mean? Like, we've never seen that before. We don't even know what that looks like. I had to get something to drink, guys. I'm thirsty. It's getting hot. But anyway, so yeah, hyperinflation is goods and services going to have a high rate. Now, these goods and services, the prices literally could change by the day, by the hour, by the minute, or even by the day, or even by the second. Excuse me. It can change even by the second. This could be a very ugly economic storm. It could be ugly. If we don't, I'm not saying it's going to happen. What I'm saying is if the United States doesn't get this under control, or if our leaders don't get this under control, this is something that we could possibly see here soon. That's what I'm saying. So with the systems breaking down, this is the reason our monetary system is moving to a digital, cashless society. And also, this is the reason cryptocurrencies are going to be part of our global monetary hedge money. Okay, this is a real thing. This is not for play. This ain't for play, guys. So listen up. Because of the decline of the US dollar, we are going cashless. and our global leaders around the world are going to issue us what's called central bank digital currencies, or short for CBDCs. This is what this is. And what a CBDC is, I'm gonna explain what a CBDC is, but I'm not gonna go that far into detail because I'm gonna do a whole nother video in regards to CBDCs, stable coins, and cryptocurrencies and stuff like that, and what their differences are. So I'm going to do a different video on that, okay? But a CBDC is a nation's own sovereign digital currency. Okay? So the United States, we go cashless. We end up going cashless. They're going to issue us what's called a central bank digital currency in this new digital system. Okay? So this is the reason why cryptocurrencies, gold and silver, are so important. And they're simply so important because it's the next new money. It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. I know. I know you're like, Pluto, you're losing your mind, Pluto. No, I'm not. I'm being real, okay? I'm being real. So let me say this though too. There is a direct correlation between gold, silver, and cash. Okay, gold, silver, and cash. Listen at this now. So when cash is up, okay, cash is up, cash going up, talking about the economics between cash, gold, and silver right now, okay? When cash is up and it goes up, 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 gold and silver typically stay medium. Like they fluctuate, but they don't fluctuate that much, okay? However, when cash goes down in value or declines, gold and silver rise and go up. Okay? Yeah. We are going to a gold-backed digital system, cashless. Cashless society. And look, I didn't want to be before you long, but I wanted to leave you with this. The silver is mine and the gold is mine, declares the Lord of hosts. Haggai chapter 2, verses 8-9. Look, I hope that this message made sense and is clear to the eyes, to the heart, and to the ears. And you guys, look, this is the reason why cryptocurrency, gold and silver, is so important. This is the reason why it's important for us to be in position right now. This is the reason why we need to be in position right now to have, cryptocurrencies. And later on, a couple more videos, I'm going to start telling you guys and talking about the different cryptocurrencies that the Lord has been speaking to me about. Okay? So, look, like, comment, subscribe, share this video however many times. And until next time, Pluto will see you on the other side.